You never really understand the importance of drilling, of all the things that's under the ground with minerals or water or natural gas, the oil. So drilling is a very important aspect of our civilization, of the things that we do. And so that's a segue into to the project that I'm working on right now, which is a website for a drilling company out of Del Rio, Texas, called Bollinger Drilling. So anyway, they've commissioned me to create a new website for them. What kind of spawned it was that they've been doing well drilling, it's like I said, since '83, been doing well at it. And they needed, they wanted to venture out into products. So that's what we're working on, and that's the project that we've started now. And I'm going to go through and show you the wireframe layout that I've done. So looking here, this is their current website, and you can see that it's a very simple website. I think I want to say that they probably made this themselves, but I'm not entirely sure. But if someone did make it for them, then I hope they didn't pay too much for it. Let's see, powered by GoDaddy. Yeah, it probably was self-made, or maybe someone at GoDaddy made it. Regardless, it definitely needs some love. So it's just your standard, alternating picture text, modern website. You see a lot of sites have the same layout, with text, picture, text, back and forth, 2-column, different things, white background, just very generic. Has their services that they offer, the drilling, the pump installation that goes along with water well drilling, as well as this. There's a brief mention somewhere on here about the shallow oil well drilling here that they do. And there's a little bit of mention for the equipment that they sell. And that's about it. It's just a one-pager. So here is what we have so far. This, of course, is the simple wireframe layout. And let me zoom in here. What we're going for. So far we've got a pretty simple layout at this point. The problem I had with the services they offer is the services they offer are all geared towards different customers. Your customer that is going to do your water well drilling, which is your run-of-the-mill residential person, residential customer, is going to be very different from someone who's looking for shallow oil well drilling, which is someone who's more in the gas petroleum industry that's looking to dig shallow oils and get gas. And so it's a very different customer. The customer that's looking for, the equipment, that would be a driller. And so they're completely different from the other two. So the website is targeted towards 3 different types of people, which presents a problem if you try to put all that on one page. Because, say someone that's looking for a water well, they're not going to want to see, compressors and all these other equipment. They're not going to be interested in it. They're going to see this and think, I'm on the wrong site, because this is obviously like parts sales. So, they may bounce off of the website and go somewhere else. So that's the challenge that we have with the 3 services they offer. That's geared towards 3 different types of people. So the solution to that, as you'll see, is we're going to have it segmented. So when they come to the website, we're going to give them a nice, beautiful video background with the logo for the company. Just a short little write-up here about them, a quick little contact section for people who just want contact information real quickly. Little SEO links for service pages. SEO pages for the cities that they service. And then we're going to break apart their three main services with the water well drilling, parts and equipment, and shallow oil well drilling. And then we just have your simple contact footer. The reason why we're doing this, as I stated before, was to to separate people in the different parts of the website. So for example, when they go to the water well drilling page, it's going to be targeted towards a residential customer that would be interested in water well drilling. And we'll have it's the same layout with the video background and all the stuff as the other page, so they'll have familiarity with it, but with different information. One little trick that you can do, not real so much of a trick, but just something that's good to do, is that when you're creating a website, it's good to have some uniformity. Yeah, you want the pages to be unique and individual and distinct. That's good, but the navigation and the flow, the UI or user interface, it's good to have a little uniformity in it, so therefore people are familiar with how to navigate. And so therefore you'll notice with this, the pages kind of have a similar structure. They have different information, they'll have different pictures and videos and colors and feel to it, but they'll have the same layout so people would know how to navigate. It's good to keep that the same. Okay, moving back to our page here, you can see it has the same layout as our home page. It's just geared towards water well. We have your just a basic mentioning of the water well services. It's a little bit difficult when you're creating a page for something like this. You don't want to overwhelm them with information, but you do want to put enough information on there that they can at least gloss. They have stuff to gloss over. To them, that shows that there's capability, like you can do a lot, you know a lot about what you're doing, and they're not going to read it, but they're going to see that it's there and it's going to impress them. And also it helps with search engines to have more information about the stuff, because it tells Google that Bollinger well drilling or Bollinger Drilling Services is a good company that knows what they're doing, knows a lot about what they're doing, and so therefore this is a good website to serve up to someone in Del Rio, Texas who's looking for water well drilling. So we got the so that's why right here in this section we'll have some information written up about water well drilling, just kind of a quick little blurb for each of the different services, the water wells, the pumps that they do, and the service that they offer, which goes down to this next section, which is the 24/7 service they offer, which is pretty cool that they offer that. If there's any problems with water well, that you're with your water well and the pumps, they're available 24/7, which goes down to the next section, which is the why use. And we'll have some features there that kind of lets Bollinger stand out. A why use is often done incorrectly. A lot of people will go and they'll put the general bullet points on there. Oh, we do quality service, or oh, we're prompts, And I mean, yeah, that's good, but it's been diluted so much because everybody says it, so it's good to be more specific. And to be more specific, you have to know the company. You have to talk to them. You kind of have to get an idea what they're all about, and then that's what you focus on, because everybody has individual characteristics or and traits that make them who they are, and also individual characteristics and traits that they value. It's my goal to find out who they are, what they're about, what they value, and that's what we focus on, because I mean, if these guys, if they're not prompt, like if these people, this company is not very prompt, I don't want to put prompt on there, because then it's going to make them look bad when they're not prompt. The customer's going to be like, well, your website says you're prompt, but they're not. So I don't want to put that on there if that's not who they are. But they may not be prompt, but they may also be very available. Like, these are the type of people that you can contact 10 o'clock at night and they're going to answer and call you and help you with your problem. So therefore, that is what I want to put on there, is the availability. I want to focus on that. And so that's why with this why use sections or about sections, you really want to be honest about who this company is, who these people are, and that's what you present, that's what you focus. focus on. So here, that's what we're going to focus on why I use Bollinger Drilling, which I'm still figuring out because I've only talked to them a handful of times, so I'm still learning this part. Then we go down to the service areas, which will be clickable links, which will take to the SEO pages, which we'll get to. Okay, from there we go to our shallow oil well drilling page, which is the same layout, just with a little bit less information. Just has a quick little blurb about shallow oil well drilling and why I use Bollinger. Kind of the same thing. This will be carried over from the other pages. And I don't have as much on here as I do the water well, because the shallow oil well is a little more cut and dry. And then we have our service areas. And then we're going to our parts page, which is similar layout. But then it'll have a little bit different. It'll have the product listing section for parts. And then a quick little blurb about their shipping procedures and about the company here. And then we're going to go to our part page, which is an individual part. Okay, so after the header here with the with the part image and the video, we're going to have of course your little standard gallery, a little information about the part, and then the little place to purchase it, and that leads down to related parts. We'll do the same information on shipping and about Bollinger Drilling, and then our contact form. And our last page for now, which will be our SEO pages, and these are the pages that on these other pages here, when you see the city names for the cities that they service and they click on them, that'll take them to this SEO page, which is basically the same thing as the water well drilling page. It's just specific to a certain city. Which other cities? The reason why we do that, obviously, I mean, I'm sure you can kind of guess it. It just helps with SEO. If I'm in Del Rio, Texas, and I'm searching for water well drilling, probably Bollinger Drilling is going to show up, because they have a Google My Business profile that's in Del Rio, Texas, so they'll show up for there. But say there's some city next to them, Odessa, or I'm just throwing out random names, and they service that area. If there's no mention of that city on the website or anywhere, then there's a chance that high probability that Google's not going to show up their website to this person in this city over here. Even though they may service that city, it's not going to show up. So that's why it's important to have these little pages here, these SEO pages that will say that will talk about having how this company services that area. And you don't want to just copy all the text over. The pictures you can copy, it's not as big of a deal, but the text, you don't want to copy the same text over, because you can get penalized for that, because you just have duplicate pages. So all the text would have to be, it could be the same, say the same thing, but it has to be worded differently. So all the text here I'll rewrite so it's unique. And so that's the SEO page, and so far that's what we have for their layout. This video's gone very long, and as they always do. So anyway, that's the basic layout that we have so far. The wireframe layout is the initial one. I haven't put the text in yet, and there's some other things I want to work on, as far as just having some interactivity to it, some creativity and stuff. This is just a basic starting point for Bollinger Drilling.